Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yahanna is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheraton in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, sending curses to them enemies.
The greatest crime that's ever been done to black people in modern day history is not the killing of slavery, is not the incarceration in prison, is not the drug addiction. The greatest crime ever done to black people in modern day history was the adaptation of integration. Integration, while praised today as the greatest thing that happened to us, actually became the greatest nightmare for us.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare.
And we got wiped out.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is a public service announcement to all the sisters out there. You already know what time it is. Them Passover corsages is blooming absolutely right this year. If you a married sister, rock that red corsage. And for all the single sisters out there, the white corsage was made just for you. Stop playing. You cannot be Passover ready without rocking one of these. Just $10 to complete that fit for the Lord's 54th annual Passover. Pre-order yours now. Click the link below for more info. For just $10, I got a feeling that this is just the right batch of flowers to have you looking on point and official. Sisters, make it your business to get you one, and we hope to see you there. Shalom, Israel.
So I spit choo-choo, I taste the whole thing. Taking my style, I'm far from a lane, girl, just let me put it down, baby. She on the road, can't get around in my coupe, me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make you mine, please? Tell me be you, and we can try. So I spit choo-choo, I taste the whole thing. Taking my style, I'm far from a lane, girl, just let me put it.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, what's going on, man? Priest Captain Dawhar here, standing with Officer Tabawan. We coming from Hollywood, California. Just off the BBC interview, letting everybody know that the I.S.U.P.K is going to take over, man. But check it out, this is what I want you to do, right? Commander General Yahanna just dropped a new YouTube channel, the most controversial man in America, man. Subscribe to his channel, America on Fire, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Shalom.
If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and I'm blessed. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and I'm blessed. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I nation to be respected, but in this world we rejected. We hate it for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon.
Oh yeah, it's going down. Join us for this year's All Black Party, hosted by Commanding General Yahanna and the I.S.U.P.K. This year, it's going down in Durham, North Carolina at the Durham Armory. Last year, brothers and sisters came out from all over the world. It was a packed house to celebrate the 2022 Hebrew Academy graduates. These brothers faced life and death, and as a result, they were honored on this night for their sacrifice and their victory at the gauntlet. But wait, this year, it's going down. There will be a Hebrew concert featuring Captain Akkad, 144 the Rebel, King Ty, Captain Ty Ward, One Westworld, Lost Tribes, Captain Katazar, I Won Ya Allah, also known as Dopey, and Officer Natazar, U.P.K. Natazar, and much more. It's going to be an open bar. Make sure that you get your tickets. It's going down this year, 2023, the 54th annual Passover and the annual All Black Party, hosted by Commanding General Yahanna and the I.S.U.P.K. Stay alive, still blessed, and still we ride.
I.S.U.P.K. presents the 54th annual Feast of Unleavened Bread. Last year we did it big. This year is going to be way big. More brotherhood, more sisterhood, more U.P.K. On Sunday, April 2nd, 2023. We're going to be at 421 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Sheraton Raleigh Hotel Ballroom. We're calling all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come join us.
If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, what's going on, man? Priest Captain Dohar here, standing with Officer Tabawan. We coming from Hollywood, California. Just off the BBC interview, letting everybody know that the I.S.U.P.K is going to take over, man. But check it out, this is what I want you to do, right? Commander Yahanna just dropped a new YouTube channel. The most controversial man in America, man. Subscribe to his channel, America on Fire, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yahanna is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheraton in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, sending curses to them enemies.
Good. Clap it up. Yabashan Sharakathum. Yahashima Thunba Shimi Awashar. Tonight, scripture breakdown class in DC. Coming to you live. We're rocking it out. You all know, get Passover ready, Passover ready, Passover ready. We have literally 1 month. Whether your month is 28 days, 30 days, whatever. Just know when it turns to April 1st, you better be in Raleigh, North Carolina. You know what I mean? With this South Salisbury Street, 500 South Salisbury Street. Learn that address like your house address. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna be down there rocking it out, holding it down. You know what I mean? Honoring the Most High in Christ and all the prophets that went before us. You know what I mean? We're gonna be doing it big, doing it just how Chief Head Priest Aria said to do it. That's how he taught to do it, and that's how we're going to do it. Because of course, in here we honor fathers. We we're not mama's boys. You get the point? We grow with our fathers. We grow the hard way, the rough way. You understand? And when I say the rough way, I'm talking about the world would describe it as rough. The world would describe it as you're so rough and hard. That's what it means to have a father in the house. You understand? We're gonna do the whole thing, just like how Chief Head Priest Aria said to do it. Commander Yahanna is following the same traditions, and definitely in honor of a man who laid the foundation that so many people walk today. So the path so many people walk today, so many brothers and sisters walk it unworthily. Your feet ain't really supposed to be on that path just by the words out your mouth. We already know. But we're gonna honor this house. We will honor this house till the very end. You know what I mean? We're gonna honor this house till the very, very end. So tonight we're gonna go into the passport, brothers. All right. I don't think they have no passport brothers in here. It might have some Uber brothers, some Lyft brothers. You know what I mean? Some Amtrak train pass brothers. But passport brothers, I highly doubt it. You're going to understand the psychology behind the passport brothers tonight
And I hope it helps clean your soul up, because the Passport brothers are absolutely filthy in their minds. The innocent ones and the guilty ones. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. All right. In the meantime, please let me know if there's any questions online, brother.
There's nothing online
Yeah.
right now, sir.
Okay. Any in the class? October 26th, Salakia.
Nah,
Any in the class? Anything that we need to go over?
so I just want to hear this breakdown.
Listen, I'm definitely gonna give it to you. And I mean, I went and check out these Passport brothers, all the way, and it's I say how the diplomats be saying it leaves a lot to be desired. It's a lot to be desired. Go ahead, Shabbat.
Yesterday in class, subject came up. I was talking about the Hebrew individualites and how they don't even gather, as the scriptures say, no nation not desired. But Officer Kazak was like, he remind him to bring up the wilderness, about the wilderness Israelites and the scripture on that. And we didn't get a chance because there was so many questions in it. We kept putting it off. But if we could, it's a scripture about wilderness Israelites.
Okay, you might have to get the whole thing. You could call them now and find out if you need it, need it broken down some more. You know what I mean? You might have to call them now and find out for sure. But what you saying, it's not it ain't jiving with my memory right now. You know what I mean? Bakash, also send that link for so what he requested it. You'll bear with me one, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, so anything else? Any other questions, or we're good to go?
I'm good to go, sir.
Okay. So Passport brothers, right? What do we know about Passport brothers? You're good on your World War III breakdowns too? Damn. You're good on your World War III breakdowns? That's in the air right now. Go ahead. Hold on one second. Shalom, sir. Yahanna.
I.S.U.P.K, if you could, can you sit around Baba Shaw? Khan, you had a question?
Yeah, so I've been seeing this thing about the Passport brothers on social media, but I had no clue. Like, what is that?
What is the Passport brothers? Passport brothers is a group of people, group of men. Maybe I should just let Cap take this, but because I know he's gonna come with some heat. What they want I'll tell you what they want the world to believe. What they want the world to believe is and unfortunately it's a lot of Jakes that's in this so-called Passport brothers movement, right? So they want the world to believe that Western women, in particular, especially American women, are trash. That's what they want the world to believe. And in order for you to get a good quality woman, you have to go somewhere that's not westernized. You know what I mean? And that's the only way you can find a decent woman. That's what they want the world to believe. You have something, Shabbat?
Stop. Just a question in the chat.
From Ario Weeks?
Come on, sir.
Yeah. Ask the question, Baba Shaw.
Aria Weeks said, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe Columbus were black?
It doesn't matter what I. Salaki. It was just there. It was a layup. Salaki. Nah, but that he tells you what he is. You know what I'm saying? He tells you what he is. What does it matter? What why do you want to know if I believe if Christopher Columbus is black or not? Type that in the chat. Why is that important to you? I know you're listening. I know you're hanging in on the words. So why is it important for you to know if I believe a colonizer is black or not? I just gave it away, what I believe, but why is it important? That's what I want to know. For what? Why is he asking that question in particular? And while he's getting his answer, because while he's getting his answer, we can go on about the Passport Brothers. So have you heard anything about that? What I just said? What they want the world to believe?
Nah.
So they've been around for quite some time. It's not just like an overnight type movement. They've been around for quite some time. Yeah.
I know he Edomian.
So okay then. With that, I pass the class to Captain Mashak Mayo. What was the question?
It was a brother from the brother asking, do we believe if Columbus is black? Was that the question? Oh, yeah. Do we believe if Columbus was black?
No, Columbus was a devil. Columbus was a devil, and he was Christopher Columbus was a devil. He wasn't even a Spaniard. I think he was Italian, right? His real name is Cristobal Colon. He comes from an Italian family of travelers or some shit like that, merchants or something, where his voyage to the West was not what they teach you in school it was. That's the best way I could put it, right? His voyage to the West was very much to come find the people who built Egypt for the Egyptians and to come find the people who built Rome for the Romans, right? His journey west was to find the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why when he found, Ephraim and his fellows, he went back to Queen Isabella to get funding and permission to bring the Armada to the West.
That's like, sir, a distinct proof of that would be he brought a Hebrew, someone who spoke Hebrew with him.
Right. You could find that in the book called Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. Right? There's a book called Lost Tribes and Promised Lands where that wasn't him. That wasn't him, Shapat. Make sure you get that straight. That wasn't him. That was another explorer called Montesinos. Montesinos, I believe, was a brother. Montesinos was a brother who was he was Italian by birth. Don't quote me on it. I'm gonna have to go back and read the book and get it back to you. But I believe that explorer was a brother. That Montesinos, the one who came and had the Hebrew translator with him, and who heard the people say the creed, and they told him Joseph is on an island nearby. That explorer was not Columbus. That was one called Montesinos. His record is in the book Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. That could be what the brother is confusing Columbus with Bokoash or whoever asked the question. Right? That could be it. Salaki, go ahead.
Salaki, do you know around what chapter that's in?
You have the book? You have it with you? Salaki, let me see. I think it's Monty Zenos. Right. This is the book here, Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. How long you had this book, huh?
About a year.
Okay. How was it hard to get? Was it super expensive? Okay, there was a time this book was very, very, very expensive. Hold on. I believe it's earlier on. Hold on, man. All right, anything else?
So here's another question. It's from Osiris Edward McIsaac.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Shalom, brothers. Are there Israelite brothers that are legally allowed to marry our people?" Or it says our people, but
okay. Read the question one more time.
it says, "Shalom, brothers. Are there Israelites brothers that are legally allowed to marry our people?"
Okay, what does that mean? Maybe he's a heathen. Or she. That might be a she. That might be a passport brother destination that you're talking to right there. That might be somebody who wants one of the passport brothers. Okay, I can't remember which chapter, but I don't think it's that far down into the book. No, boy. I really don't think it's that far down into it. If the person who asked that question, they could just rephrase it for a quick second. Like who is let's say, could Israelite brothers marry who?
Are Israelite brothers that are legally allowed to marry our people? Just the way it's worded.
Now let's let him rephrase it. Just let him rephrase it, all right? Please just let him rephrase it. Hold on. Oh boy, I'm gonna find a fit before the end of class. If not, I'd ask somebody exactly. But I don't think it's this far down. I want to believe it's earlier on in the book. But there's a whole section about this Monty Zenos. I think he was in prison at first. Bear with me one. I might have to pass on it for now. Hold on. Yeah, I might have to pass on this one for now, just to be able to move on with the crowd. But I'm gonna find it exactly where it's for you, all right?
Come on, sir.
Right, there's also a chapter in here about Bartholomew de las Casas. He has a book himself also, but there's excerpts from the book in here. And this one is good because Bartholomew de las Casas, they was killing this native Indian brother called Hoete or something like that. Hautey. That's his name, I believe. You could Google it. And Bartholomew de las Casas was like a priest or a monk, a Catholic monk, who would go out with the colonizers for the New World. And this particular brother was like a rebel, like Geronimo type. And they tied him to fire, right? They was going to set him on fire. And Bartholomew de las Casas, the the record of it is that he was asked if he would accept Christianity if it meant him coming off the damn pyre, and he could go to heaven. And he told the devil, if there's white people in heaven, I don't want to go there. And they light him up, right? But it's in there. I'm gonna find out what the Montezino section is for you, brother. But I don't think it's that far in, because he tells you, I think that first they hit Florida, then they went to Cuba, and the native people in Cuba saluted him in Hebrew, and they told him Joseph was on an island not far off, right? Joseph meaning Ephraim, right? Because Puerto Rico ain't too far from Cuba, right? But exactly where it's escaping me now. But it's definitely not Columbus. This was Montezino's. Boy, I definitely want to find it for you. All right. Bear with me. I'm going to find it for you. You want to hold it? I'm going to find it for you before the class is out. All right. Because did the brother come back with anything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you see me in and out the stream, I just gain a little problem now. Sometimes I cut off and I come off in between now.
You say it cutting out on you?
Can.
Okay, no sweat. Just let me know if you had any questions or anything, all right?
Oh, can, sir. Can.
Okay. All right. All right, so anything else, Bakwash? Are we good? Sir. Okay, let me know if he comes back with anything, all right? Okay, so Passport Brothers, right? What we know about the Passport Brothers? What is their what is their MO? What are they about? What do they say? Come on, no shame in the game, Bakwash. Shame in the game. Nobody wanted to go first. Bakwash is like, listen, man. Go ahead.
From what I understand, they do not like westernized women, and they would rather go to someplace else that where women are not westernized. So
do they go to Syria? Do they go to Aleppo?
No.
In the east? Do they go to Eritrea? Do they go to Chad in the east? Okay, so where do they go?
They go to Thailand. They go to Colombia, Dominican Republic, Panama.
You put Thailand in there because I think you're a sympathizer. I think you're a Passport Brother sympathizer. Because I looked, and I ain't seen one video of them niggas on the streets of Thailand showing no Thailand ass. Excuse my language. I seen them on the streets in DR with their phone, like, oh, look at that there, look at that there. I ain't seen one thigh behind yet. So I think you might be a sympathizer. Like, I think you might be a Jewish sympathizer. You get the point? Go ahead. I'm listening.
So they go to places where their money is longer and they can command more
and strong. What's this?
Let me drop.
Still coming to bribe somebody here now. I'm gonna see what these things do. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a couple. So Lakia, if the Lord make more than 2 roll out, then I'm blessed. So what? Yeah, go ahead.
Damn, yeah, they go to places like that so that they can get over on anybody that they want to.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I'll take that. That's pretty much them. That's pretty much them on what they want to do, how they want to do their things. All right. Passport Brothers, it's Israelites. Israelite men, usually ex-military, right? Usually brothers who is in the ex-military or ex-football players, sports players. They have a little bit of money. It's not a lot, but they probably middle class here. Middle class here, in certain countries is very, very wealthy. They have a ton of power, right? So the mantra for the passport brothers is that not westernized women. That part is bullshit too. It's women in America. It's black women in America that these Negroes can't stand. And they definitely have not had or been introduced to every black woman, but the experience they've had is like, I'm gonna go and buy a wife, which is really what you're doing as a passport brother. You're not falling in love, you're lying. You're going to a point where it's the antithesis of what happens here, where a woman has more power than a man here. You get the point? A woman in the world, she'll have more power than a brother. He can't handle it, so he goes in a position where he has power over her, carnal power. You get the point? The power that she has over him here is carnal power, right? That's really all it is. It's a carnal type of power. It's not like she tells him to do something and he does it. She forces him to do everything, and he's tired of it, so he goes to a position where he has carnal power over everybody else, right? Pull up some videos of them. Okay, there's that particular one I'm talking about with the brother online talking about these exotic women. Bear with me one. The host of the show I'm talking about is a brother with dreads, and he had the front of his head shaved, looking like a real little woman. All right, whichever was the first one Pagaiba was sent you. Let's go with that.
Success story. Look what I pulled.
This is the one with the devil.
Country. Right? It's great. She doesn't even speak English, so I don't have to listen to her. Passport bros. You guys want to hear a success story?
I would never ever choose a hand. I would never.
Passport bros. You guys want to hear a success story? Look what I pulled from the old country. Right? It's great. She doesn't even speak English, so I don't have to listen to her.
What's the old country?
I'm not sure. I think his tag is Brazil Yeesh, but
right. So he goes to Brazil. This is a white man.
Sorry.
This is the so-called oppressor. He goes to Brazil. He doesn't go to Essex, England, or Stockholm, Sweden. He doesn't go there because they're not Western. They're in the East, right? He wants somebody who's more old school, old fashioned. He ain't go somewhere in Bavaria, in Germany, to get some woman, but he goes once again where he could be carnally in power, which is not any type of power at all, right? And that's what he wants. And he said it right. He said the best thing about her is she what? She doesn't speak English, right? But he will marry her and take her home, which I assume he did, right? He married her and took her home because really this is more so a long-term prostitutional arrangement. You get the point? Now, this is a disclaimer. Maybe some passport brother did find a woman who he genuinely loves and whatever. And I'm not calling that woman a prostitute. But by and large, the passport brothers movement, that passport brothers whole movement and push, and we all making videos and talking about come out here. And they love you out here, and you could do this out here. It's really because you're too weak. You're too weak enough to have any real spiritual power over anything, much less a woman. And you don't want to. You want the easy, low-hanging fruit, right? And this is not a disrespect to any of the sisters in Brazil or Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, but the fact is, these brothers don't go to those countries and try to marry a lawyer from DR. You understand? If we're talking passport brothers, why they ain't marrying, a surgeon? Why they ain't going there and marrying an engineer? Why is their wife on the beach all day, every day? Because this is not about going to find a wife. This is about another thing that Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men have been reduced to due to oppression, which is, you know, a circus animal, right? A circus animal doesn't hunt food. A circus animal doesn't stalk food and jumps down and kills it. A circus animal gets fed. It's easy. It's just this just comes into the cage. It's there. I eat it. That's your passport, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to do anything extra. I don't need to change anything about myself. I don't need to demand change with anything. I could just come here and, even under the pretense of just being an American, in the woman's mind, it's, you know, like you win the lotto. You get the point? In her mind, that's how it is. When you may not even be in that position really, but you come in with that certain amount of status for it, because that's the only way you could get a woman. You understand? That's the only way you could get abroad. You can't get abroad the old-fashioned way and can't get her to obey what the hell you say. So much so you just give up the ghost and you go and you create this thing called Passport Brothers. And the thing is absolutely weak. Is there more on it?
That was it, but there's others.
Come on, give me a couple more. Nobody found the one on Facebook I'm talking about, right?
Lot, sir.
Oh boy. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Just now, let me send this thing here. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any direct precepts like to move, you know, against this part?
Mm-hmm.
This particular topic, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get to it. You in a rush? You in a hurry?
Nah, not at all.
You sure? Okay, no sweat. We gonna get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Passport bro discourse on my feed. But I feel like Japan really nailed it when it comes to talking about those kind of guys, because they just call them LBH, loser back home. I keep saying passport bro discourse on my feed. But I feel like Japan really nailed it when it comes to talking about those kind of guys, because they just call them LBH.
LBH means
loser back home.
Who?
It says the Japanese calls them LBHs, the Passport Brothers, and LBH stands for losers back home.
You want the precept? Ni hao.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do, right? You want the precept? Precept here now.
Yeah.
Any more?
Concert.
Okay, that the one I want is on Facebook. That's the one I want and I can't find it. It's okay. Is this little podcast with this brother, real feminine looking fool. You have dreads, like slightly light skin, not all the way. The front of the dreads is shaved. He has a guest on there, and this guy he has on shades, and he talking about he been to Cyprus and Syria and Greece and Spain, and you see the most exotic women. He say exotic, they're so exotic, and these women you pay them to leave, you don't pay them to stay, and you can't find women like that in America. I need that one out because okay, you see you'll see exactly the spirit of weakness that I'm talking about. That's on this brother. All right. Okay. So now, okay, first off the break. So now let's get Tobit 4, right? Now somebody might say what they're doing is not, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing because of course they're going down to get sisters, right? They're going down to get Brazilians and Dominican Republicans and stuff like that. In those brothers' minds, are those women sisters? No, they're not. In those brothers' minds, if those women were sisters in those brothers' minds, would they go get them? Break it down.
Sloppy, you mean sisters like
Like, okay, I'm saying they go into these countries and, you know, saying how these women are so much better than the woman in America. When Eve is Eve, if anybody knows, she cussing you out in Portuguese just like she is in Spanish, just like she is in English. It just sounds better to you in Portuguese because of all that nasty porn you was watching at 17. That's why it sounds, because I told you, they ain't going to Thailand, Doc. I ain't seen nobody in Singapore. I ain't seen nobody over there showing all these Singaporean women. I ain't seen nobody give me one of them more retarded. Taiwan. Is they going down to Taiwan and marrying them women? Where's all the Passport Brothers videos? DR, Puerto Rico, Brazil, any island around. You get the point? They go into that place because this is a sexual fetish that they're really trying to feed. This has nothing to do with the love. And the reason they can't get a woman here is because of the same thing. It's a weak sexual fetish that you really just attracted to whores. That's it. Or or a woman that you can turn into a whore. You understand? Because if this was about finding a woman who is of better quality and they treat you better, how come you cannot go to Brazil and marry the Brazilian Minister of Finance? How come you can't go to Brazil and get a lawyer or a doctor? Why is it you go to Brazil and get the sister who is struggling, poor, just like the sisters right here?
Right.
That's it. How come you can't do that? Go ahead.
It's two questions. One is related right on this topic, and there's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Topic. The one that's on topic from Weezy B says, "What if a guy just loves Caribbean women and loves to travel? Also, the man is single. What about them?"
Okay, now a man who likes to travel is different from a man who goes to get a passport to go to, Rio de Janeiro. That's different. A man who likes to travel could go to Detroit, could go to Chicago, could go, where be having a ton of Benjamin women? Florida. Could go to Florida. Hi, everybody. If you like to travel, you like Caribbean women, you like Haitian women, you like West Indian women, you like Cuban women, they're all the way down there. You like to travel, right? So why is it you have to go to that particular country and prey on the poorest demographic, the most desperate demographic? It's because you're weak. Yeah. You're weak and you're just like that white man in the beginning. Yeah. And really, okay, he don't want her talking at all. You just don't want her talking English because as long as she's disrespecting you and you can't understand it, you fine with that shit. You totally fine with that. Go ahead, guy boy.
Yeah, Salam, sir. What you just said was heavy because that took me back to the beginning of Cross the Line. Mm-hmm. When Captain Tazariak was explaining, why he stepped up. When he was telling Polite, he was like, "You're a coward because you're only going to fight the battle that you think that you could win." Mm-hmm. So those brothers, those men, they're going to these sisters that are impoverished, probably don't have a lot of education sometimes in some of these dilapidated countries. Mm-hmm. They know that they have an advantage over them. And that's what they use their status, their American status, to hold over top of these sisters. And basically it's like a hostage situation because they're thinking that they're benefiting by getting with an American man that might have a little bit of money, but it's just like it's prostitutional slavery.
It's prostitution. It's prostitution without you going to the back alley or you go into some website and paying. You're tricking yourself to thinking it's not prostitution. That's really what it is. You get the point? That's really what it is. You had it, Anna?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, like, has it came out that they're abusing these women?
Okay, no, none of that has come out because, of course, okay, it's like let's say you go spring break or something. You go to one of those, events like that, some kind of college thing. You're down there for 4 or 5 days. Nothing can really get you angry enough to do something like that. You get the point? you only go that far when you had to live with this broad, or you had to live with this brother for 2 years, and y'all smell each other farts. This person ain't cleaning the toilets. This person leaving the drawers around. That is what's going to bring the chaos and the conflict and the fighting. But when you're just down there, really, you're free from responsibility. Once you're free from responsibility, there's nothing that could get you angry. You could have, you could let her know you're going to bring her back to the States for whenever, and she goes with another brother. Are you angry? Because there's like 2,500 more on the beach. And you just go for it. Passport brothers, the movement of it is very weak. It's not the same as a brother who travels a lot and gets a wife. That's different. But when you go apply for the passport because Keisha don't want you, what's the difference between you and Tiger Woods? These ballers who get these white women, they don't get a doctor or a lawyer. They go get some waitress like Tiger Woods or that RG3. Remember that old frog face one from who played for the Redskins? You see the broad he divorced? First he had one white broad who he had a kid with, divorced her for some ugly ass broad, and then end up with this skiing broad who, no, she don't even ski. She do some other thing, some other sport, and she don't even do this shit no more. You get the point? They don't really get something of quality. But the thing is, black women too hard to deal with, so you go get a white woman. It's the same thing with the passport brothers. It's the same. It comes from the same place of it's really weakness. That's really what it is. Go ahead, Al.
It's like you say about it. I used to think the same thing about RG3. When he hiked the ball, he would lick his tongue out like a lizard.
Okay. I only know him from the white woman because I discovered him when I think the first broad he divorced made a big stink about it, and he went to get another white woman, and I was like, this fool, he don't learn. And I think soon after he blew his knee out or some shit like that. So I don't really know how he played, but the football enthusiasts, y'all could help educate me on that one. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing like that. Salakia, bear with me one. Okay, give me my scripture in Tobit, please. Give me choose, refrain from whoredoms. Tobit 4 and 12. Give me that. Let's start with that one.
Tobit chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Say it again.
Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Go ahead.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Right. So now I on purposely pulled the scripture because why? You have brothers and sisters who say shalom, wear fringes, but don't agree with what Chief Head Priest Arya said. You understand? And they call themselves Israelites. And they would say that what's wrong with it? You could have concubines. They are women of the other nation. They are women of our nation anyway. So the passport brothers are not doing anything wrong. And that's what they would tout and they would push and they would break down. So now read it again. Read it one more time.
Verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Say it again.
Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Beware of all whoredom, my son. Go on.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Now, these sisters in DR and Brazil and Cuba and wherever you're going, they are of the seed of your fathers. But is that brother who's going to get the passport? When he goes to get the passport, is he looking at her like a sister? He's not. He's looking at her the same way he looks at the Filipino, the same way he looked at the Chinese woman. You get the point? As if she is so much better because of XYZ. When this is a sister like every other sister, you're just taking advantage of her just like your oppressor would. The same spirit on the oppressor, which is after you done colonize a certain area and you oppress that area down, you go down there and now you start to make whores of the women of that land. That's the oppressor 101. That whole Pocahontas story is exactly that. They try to act like if sister fell in love with John Smith The real history is he took her at 14, took her back to England, and was raping her forever. Right? That's the real history behind that. The Passport Brothers it's in the same vein. However, you ain't no colonizer, and that is your sister that you're actually preying on. And the only thing that gives her value to you is the fact that she has no value to nobody else. That's the only thing that makes her valuable to you, to make you go get a passport and go down there and, you know, hang out and trick. You're really just tricking, and you're playing on the needs and wants and the oppression. Like, really, you got to thank the white man for your Passport Brothers, for your options, because if he didn't destroy your people, where would you go to find a woman? Where would you go? Come on. You should have gone to your own. But once again, they're not looking at our own like it's valuable. They don't understand that any woman has issues. Every woman has issues. But in their minds, these women here is willing to swallow their problems to be able for what the possibility that you might be able to offer. It's very weak. It's very, very weak. You shouldn't aspire to it. You can't, if you can't get a woman down the block, try the next city over. Just go visit your cousin sometime. Try the next city over, or come to the UPK. They will be wearing white corsages come April 1st. You know what I mean? Give that a hand. That's a tradition. Some of y'all might need a passport for that. But this is the thing. You're still going to have to go talk to her. You're still going to have to go step to her. And she's going to be enveloped by the other sisters. They're going to be all around her. And you're going to have to walk up there and pull her out of the group in front of everybody. You'd rather just fly to Brazil on your own and go on the beach and, flash some Benjamins, right? Nah, man. We do things the old-fashioned way, brother. We do things the hard, old-fashioned way. Passport Brothers are very easy and very weak. Let's keep reading that scripture. Read it one more time, please.
Come. Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Right? Chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Right? Like, you had to be in that spirit if it is you're going to be able to choose and find a sister, right, as a brother. You're going to have to be in that spirit, because now, if it is we're going to have the Passport Brothers, are you going to now have the Passport Sisters going for the original man in Nigeria? Right? That's going to be the case now? Is you going to have the Passport Sisters flying all over the place because why? You can't get along? The whole thing is just weak and chasing after whoredom. It's nothing substantial. It's nothing that is going to last any length of time. It's nothing that could stand up to any type of test, to any type of adversity. It's just weak. It's absolutely weak. Any brother entertaining it, I'm telling you straight up and down, I don't care what your reason is, you're entertaining it because you're giving into your weakness. You're giving into that part of you that don't want to get strong. And getting strong hurts, right? You go to the gym, right? It hurts, right? It also hurts to be weak too. It hurts very much to be weak. And you'll find out when you're faced with adversity. When there's no adversity, being weak is comfortable. But the minute you're faced with adversity, brother, you're about to get an ass whooping. Physically or spiritually. But if you standing strong every day, you're getting strong every day, you're working at it, it's going to hurt. But when that adversity comes, is it any big deal? Because you're always going through the adversity. You're always getting strong. You're always disciplined. You're always pushing back. You're always masculine. It takes it takes work to maintain your masculinity, to be masculine and to maintain it. It takes that type of work. Being absolutely a passive man, which is a passport brother, it takes zero effort, brother. Easy it is to get a passport. As long as you ain't got no felonies, you got how much a passport? About $600? How much is it? Well, maybe the expedited is 600. It's a lot. You could get the expedited one because it take how much months to get it back? It's supposed to be 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I think you could expedite that shit. I think there's an expedited. Somebody look it up.
There is
How much is the expedited one? Somebody look it up, please. Yeah, passport ain't hard to get. You ain't got no felony. You pay some money, you get a passport. Now you're off. But you're going because you're weak. Come on.
It's like I used to slave overseas for a number of years, and the horror stories that I've heard about some of these quote unquote passport brothers that thought they was getting over on these women, they got over on them. It's kind of not kind of. It's worse than what a sister would do here in the States. Like for all that trouble, you could have just stayed home and did that, and got less ran over.
Yeah, brother. Okay, this is what it is. Again, the level of the whoring, is something different, difficult. Okay, it's a fetish. It's a disgusting type of fetish. Like, okay, the Lord gives you everything, certain things that's lawful, right? It's lawful to have a drink. It's lawful to eat. It's lawful to have sex. It's lawful to, most other things. When you're weak, you don't enjoy the lawful amount. You only do it in the excess. You can only enjoy the excess of it. You can have a drink, but a couple of drinks ain't good enough for you. You have to wake up with a dog licking your face, not knowing where you are. That to you is a good goddamn time. Woo! I had a good time. Well, what you do, man? Well, tell me what you did. Man, if I tell you, truth is you can't remember. You could go have sex. You only want the sex that's the nasty secret type, in a room with 15 people type thing. But you could go have a woman. But just that one woman at a time I'm talking about. Don't try to make it seem like I'm talking about one wife. I'm talking about you and this woman. That's your rib. You and her going to getting ready to have sex or having sex. That doesn't appeal to somebody who is weak. What appeals to somebody who is weak is the excess, the unlawful enjoyment of it. You get the point? Which is adultery or the multiple partners, otherwise known as the orgies, or the sneaky links. The sneaky links is much more exciting. That's much more exciting. You go into bed, you singing. How the song go? I ain't even got to walk in with my tool out. It's too loud, and you bed and you getting ready to go to your sneaky link. You excited about that, but to go see old girl who you done, been with, that shit don't move you. You get the point? That's the passport brothers. They see how they make videos and shit like that. You tell me they couldn't, make a video about some broad who they was in high school with, and now she with them, and they fix her credit or they help us through school, some shit like that. They couldn't. That doesn't energize them. You get the point? But they're going on making videos about women who they don't even know, they never met, and they just say, "Hey, mommy, come as there." Yeah, and showing all the little Spanish didn't know how to talk for a woman who just trying to survive because of oppression. Nigga, you're weak. And you watched too much porn when you was a teenager. And you're a little bit homosexual. The reason why is because it's obvious that these women you're getting are having sex with other men, and you don't care that you're going after a nigga. You're a little bit gay. You're a little gay. That woman who, if you just get strong and check the broad, man, call her bitch every now and then, she gonna like it. Salakia. She gonna like it a little bit. You could shape her up. You could get her strong, and she ain't gonna give you as much trouble as you're complaining about. And really, when you get down to the roots of it, they ain't going through half the trouble. There's brothers who, going to jail on child support. They ain't trying to go to Brazil. There's brothers who can't see their children, and the broad posting a picture with some other nigga, and the nigga the brother's son or daughter with some new nigga, and he's seeing that, and he's broken. He ain't trying to go to Thailand. That nigga going to, Southeast, Northwest, Chicago. Man, I'm going down Mississippi. You talking about exotic? I already tell you, Louisiana. Boy, that accent, boy, I'm trying to tell you, boy. You heard me? I'm trying to tell you, boy. You talking about exotic? I want that argument. Come on with it. Everything is hope. I don't told the hope. Some. You heard me? Come on, man. You want exotic? It's right next door, but you're just too weak to do. And these brothers, I guarantee, have other vices they can't kick: cigarettes, drugs, men, some shit. Go ahead,
Y'all just change your mind when you said it. When the generals say, these men go to these strip clubs, and they actually think that the men actually think that the woman like them, but the whole time she hates him, and she hates what she does. She just wants the money.
That's it. And she's smiling on purpose because this is how she eats. But to you, that's more desirable than some bro who you having a little argument with. You're having a little argument with her. You can't, you gotta go on a flight. Like, your motivations is different. Your motivations is real. They should study you in universities. They should really, hook up a GPS to you and study you and, hook up the ECG to your heart so you see what makes your heart beat faster and brain activity. Because you would go that far for something you could go to any strip club USA and get. But you turn it into Adventureland, Disneyland. I'm trying to tell you, man, come down here and get one of these. Why? And they love you, man. You telling me from America, you this, you that, and blah, 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 blah. You're really a weak individual. You're not strong. You're not strong, and you just settle for whatever is placed in front of you. And a man like that is not good for anything. It's not good for, a family. It's not good for a nation. You're just absolutely weak. Really, if you could not afford a passport or a ticket, you'll just get a white girl. Like Passport Brothers is the new white girl fetish thing. You get the point? And once again, this is not demeaning sisters in Brazil or Dominican Republic. This is to give you a check on the men who pushing the shit. The men who pushing the Passport Brothers situation. It's a weak response to what you deem as a problem, and it's not really a problem. Go ahead, Ad.
It's like do you still want passport prices?
Yeah, give me that too.
All right, come.
Some brothers need passports. Hell.
This is from passportinfo.com. A new passport for anyone 16 and over will be $130.
Mm-hmm.
The acceptance of agent fee will be a $35 charge, and that's you'll get it 8 to 11 weeks. But to get that expedited, they'll charge you an extra $60, and then that breaks it down in between
about $200.
5 and 7 weeks.
Okay, so about $200, you get a passport expedited. You could go marry a girl in Brazil who's poor, and just happy you show up because you it's the same thing with the strip club. You come in there. She could get money out of you. She could get something out of you. You're just absolutely weak. You get the point? Anybody else say anything there, Bakwash? So lucky. Give me a second. Is it on the same thing? Why is this not working?
There's concert.
Go ahead.
It's a little.
Come on with it.
So there's a sister Tamika Shanta says, "Sluggy, sir, what advice would you give a sister who were molested at a young age, but they have two different outcomes? One tends to refrain from sex and don't enjoy intimacy, and the other turns out to be promiscuous."
And for both of them?
Constant.
Okay, and what's the other one?
And the other one is from Joe D. Says, "Can you explain a black man's descendants becoming completely white after a few generations of that seed with a white woman? Isn't that white man still in the bloodline?"
Read that one again.
Can you explain a black man's descendants becoming completely white after a few generations of that seed with a white woman? isn't that white man still in the bloodline?
Okay, no sweat. All right, so we'll deal with the first one first, right? For a sister, and really I'm gonna expand the question. This is not just for sisters, this is also for brothers, right? Because it's the same situation with a brother, right? You saw that with Tazariak when he did the child molestation debate, where he interviewed the brother Hassan Campbell, who came out and said he was molested by what's the rapper thing? Africa Bambaataa and their group. And he chose the violent route. He was extremely violent brother, and it was because of that. And then there was the other brother who was very, very, more on the docile side, more on the, he looked like, African Bambaataa could take him today. No disrespect, but that's really what happens, where it's almost like a fight or flight reaction to the trauma, where now you get that, let's say that violation happens to a brother or sister young enough at the point where they could understand it. In some cases, it's so young they don't internalize it, and they could still grow up on a normal, healthy way. Then there's another instance where they internalize it and they make a decision to fight or flight. The fighting is, I want to say fighting, that's one is going from one extreme to the next. The fighting would be taking on the violent role or the violent disposition. The flight role would be becoming way more promiscuous, way more accessible, way more loose, and it's a result of being violated, right? So first off, you got to understand what happens in the violation. What scripture do I want? Who knows it? There's something that happens in the violation, and that's why you have this extremely violent person or this extremely promiscuous person. This extremely, what's the word? Sexually...
Deuteronomy 22 and 25, sir.
Sexually liberated. You know, people say that I'm sexually liberated. Really, that's somebody who they attach the value of themselves to what happened to them because they mistake that thing for desire. You understand? The other person, they internalize the trauma as assault, like a fight. So now to make sure that don't happen to me no more, I'll fight everybody. I'll just hit everybody. What are you looking at? What's this? What's that? You always on one. The other person, they internalize it as desire. So of course, anybody look at them with them eyes, they go with that person. You get the point? That's the two extremes of it. What's the scripture you called, Kazar?
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 25.
That sounds like it. Let me hear.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. Verse 26. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. Verse 27.
That's all I want. Who breaking it down? Just 26 is what I need. This is the we know on TikTok, right? Okay, so this is the rape scripture, right? If a man force a woman, find her in the field and she cry out, he is guilty because he forced her. Just like when a man rise against his neighbor and slays him, so is this matter. All right, go ahead.
Oh God, so it's saying that when you rape or molest someone, you're doing the same thing to them. You're killing them. And, of course, not physically, but emotionally, mentally.
You're killing the spirit of that person. Whoever that person was before the assault, they're not the same person after. And it's irreversible. It's absolutely irreversible. You're never going back to who you was. It's one of those traumatic things. It's just, that's it. It's done. You get the point? It's just absolutely done, and that's that. So now the natural reaction is the fight or flight. In the spirit, I'm talking about, where you go from one extreme, you just become real violent, or you become easy, sexually liberated. You become a whore, right? For a brother, you really, you could present masculine, but really what's the conflict in you is really leading you down to be feminine, which is to have sex with everybody. Really, you're receiving everybody, even though you're the one having sex with a woman. Right. You having sex with a ton of women. Really, you're just receiving everybody. You're not saying no. You're incapable of saying no.
Right.
You understand? And that's the culture we're in today, which lets you know what's really happening with our men today. The culture today is, I mean, you tell me you wouldn't hit you right there. Of course I'd hit it. And you just knocking down with no kind of, I don't know, standard, no kind of standard. Goddamn, you don't have a checklist like, headlights, chassis, the tire gotta be full. You gotta have some kind of like, nah, I'm gonna pass. No, that one need any back. Here come. You had to have that, and that is masculine. Right. Decision making is absolutely masculine. I'm trying to tell you, making a decision, even if it's the wrong decision, but making the decision. I'm gonna say making it, not you just going with this one because it's easy. Right. You thought about it and you decided this. This was your decision, which means when the shit happens, what will you do because it was your decision? You deal with it, right, because I decided this. Right. But when you don't make the decision and you just go with it, when the shit happens, then it's everybody else's fault. Right. That's the feminine side of it. You get the point? Right. That's the feminine side of it. That's why women should not be allowed to make certain decisions. Mm-hmm. A man has to make that decision for her. A man has to say, no, yeah, that brother, you consider him? That's a father. Right. You get the point? A good father is not going to just let her choose whatever. He's going to tell her no, yes, no. Going to do that, and she gonna have to figure out how to deal with that thing. Right. She gonna get used to no, yes. Somebody explain and telling her how to do this thing. She can't go that far with making the decision herself. Right. It's a very masculine thing to decide. It's masculine. As they say in the Apocrypha, it's in the choosing. Yet one daughter is better than another. Right. A woman will receive every man. You all know what I'm talking about? A woman will receive every man. She ain't choosing. You understand? She's not. Lori Harvey received every nigga. And she's still going to find one by September. One more who she ain't received yet. Right? She said that Hamite is the one. I think she said, I think I found the one. You all saw that? You know why she's saying that, though, right?
It's that fetish.
You gotta get deep with the psychology now.
I was gonna say she a passport girl. I won't do that.
She ain't getting no passports out. She getting them niggas, yeah. That was for Michael B. Jordan. That was for him. Remember, the last 6 months to a year, everybody said she was a slut. She was a whore. She ain't shit. Right. He was wrong for going with her. Now she gets Snowfall, nigga. Old Southern English talking London accent ass nigga. I think I found the one. That's for him. Because he professed his love so much. You get the point? Right. That ain't she gonna drop this nigga as soon as season 6 end out. As soon as that nigga go to jail or catch a bullet in the movie, she gonna find the next one out. She gonna go find Bumpy Johnson. That's the next gangster. You get the point? A woman will receive every man, but one daughter is better than another. He's going to choose. So now, without having that ability to choose, you just take anything that comes on the table. You just have sex with anybody, and it's irresponsible. It's the same thing like the Passport Brothers. The Passport Brothers, people who have that total type of logic, you go that extreme because this situation didn't work. You can't just go next door. You can't just, go to the next classroom, go to the next neighborhood, go to the next church, go, somewhere else and just talk to some bro. Go to the next store. Right. You had to leave the whole country. And you don't go get a lawyer. You don't go get a politician. You don't go get, what people will say is a high catch. Like, but damn, you get her to listen to you. Well, shit, nigga, you're on something now. Brother, she listened to whoever on the beach. You might have some deep-rooted stuff with that. So now, for a brother or sister who unfortunately have experienced that violation, first you had to understand that whoever did it to you deserves to die. That's the first thing you had to understand. I don't care what age it happened. I don't care if it was a mistake you made with disobeying your parents, which happens to a ton of sisters around 13, 14, 15, 16 age. They think they're grown, they disobey their parents, and they think they could do everything, and they have the iPhone tracker and this and that, and they don't understand they're going with a predator. Just like Passport brothers, you are predators. All right, I'm saying it straight up. I'm trying to discourage as much of my brothers from following you idiots as possible. Right. They're going with some predator, and you think your no means something then, and it doesn't, and you get violated. Even in that situation, though you have some responsibility because you put yourself in there, you didn't listen to what you was told, that person needs to be put to death. Right. The person needs to be buried under the jail. You get the point? That's the first thing you need to understand. The second thing, whether you're a man or a woman, you must be made to understand that feeling absolutely angry and hateful for what happened and hateful towards the person and angry with whoever is perfectly normal and pure and good like the Sabbath day, and you're free to be angry over it, and you should be goddamn angry. No, don't let nobody tell you how the Christians say, don't be angry, anger gonna consume you. Fuck all of that, excuse my language. Whatever happened to you is consuming you. You can't sleep at night. You get nervous in rooms with people who remind you of your violator. You can't be in a room with somebody who's 6 foot tall and with dreads. You can't be in a closed space with somebody with a particular accent. You're a functional addict. Most of the times, people who go through those things are functional addicts, meaning they go home and get stoned cold high, stone drunk, but they show up at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And you'll never know. You'll never know what they're going through. They go in the bathroom and cut their arms up and wear long sleeves all day, or cut their legs up. Most sisters, they cut their legs up. Who in that situation? They cut their legs up. You wouldn't know until they married the bro, and you'd be like, what the fuck happened here? You understand? You wouldn't know nothing. They cut their legs up because somebody done violate them, and somebody told them they shouldn't be angry about it or doubted them. You'd be absolutely stark, raving, mad, angry. Scream if you have to. This is going to be part of how you become new. The only way to survive this thing is option C. Option A is flight, which is to be passive or become more sexually liberated, or to become, some sort of nymphomaniac or freak or whatever is these words they use today. Option B is to be a violent, just totally a person who will violate other people, but would never be violated again. AKA your studs, your bulldaggers, that type, the lumberjack and the Tims who think they are man, that type of person, they'll violate the woman, the femme. That dom will violate the femme, but she'll never be violated again. You really need to choose option C, which is to become a whole different new person. You become brand new. You need to become somebody who that never happened to. Just like if a brother who murdered people in his past, he needs to become new. He don't need to go home and worry about the souls he done to, the families he done to, who won't come after him. He could become a whole different new person and leave that life behind, and he was never a murderer. And he will not be accused of nothing, because this new man didn't do none of that shit. The old nigga did, and he was filthy and disgusting, and I hate that person. But this new person, he didn't do none of that thing. That's the direction you had to go in. Come on, Shapak.
So when you say the person got raped, so You said be mad at that. You know, like that's
that's
justified.
You have
anger.
to.
So would you call that on Psalms 139 where it says the perfect hatred? Like you're justified in that hatred.
Read 139.
So Book of Psalm, chapter 139, verse 22. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies.
No. I wouldn't use that one. Because that one's kind of specific to God's enemies. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oppression makes a wise man mad. That's more in the spirit of this. Right? Give me righteous indignation. Hold on, shit. Hold on, maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe it's not righteous indignation.
So like I said, could you use just be angry but sin not?
Give me that. Give me be angry and sin not. What's he want to call before?
That's righteous indignation.
No righteous indignation. You want to call before?
Oppression makes a wise man.
Give me oppression makes a wise man mad. Give me that one you're talking about. Go ahead.
Got Psalm 69 and 24.
Let me hear it.
Book of Psalms, chapter 69, verse 24. Pour out thine indignation upon them, and let thy wrathful anger take hold of them.
I'll take that because that is, what is that prayer for? Justice. To seek justice, you have to be angry.
Right.
You can't seek justice as a happy person. This, justice is something you have to stalk and seek after it and provide it. My dumbass, first time going to court for anything in America was some old traffic ticket. So I say I'm gonna go to court and tell the judge this officer tripping, my car stalled. Judge started telling me, well, where's the bill for your repair? If the car stalled, where's the toll bill? I'm like, I didn't know how to bring that. Y'all didn't tell me that. We don't want to hear that, sir. You're supposed to bring, and I'm starting to blaze on me for not having proof. That day I said, fuck the slacking. I'll do better next time. I understood now that this is a place that you have to fight for justice. You can't just think, well, I was not wrong, and that's enough. That's not enough. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna be angry. Now, if I was really angry at that cop for giving me that wrong ticket, what I would have did, find out what's wrong with the car, how that printed out, get the repair print, and bring it. Yahanna, look, I did this. Here, I have a tablet here. Here, take this whole thing. All this is evidence because you're so angry at what happened. You're producing the proof, and then you mad about this and that. You're gonna have to go there with the shit. And that's oppression makes a wise man mad. That's seeking out that type of justice. The Christian church, for somebody who is violated, takes away justice. It takes away justice. That's why they tell us forget about slavery.
Right.
That's why they tell us, how long are you going to be angry for?
Right.
You know what I mean? So like you could turn the temperature up on that thing. See if it's at 68. Is it on or is it? Does it say heat? Okay, just turn it up a little bit more. It says to 69.
It's set to 66, but it's on 69.
Okay. You give me it a little bit more. Take it up to 70. I see y'all putting on jackets and shit. Y'all ain't gonna have me in concert. He had a scold in there. Y'all ain't gonna do that shit to me. To seek that type of justice, you're gonna have to be angry. And you have to give people space to be angry.
Right.
Like being angry is not a sin. which is what a Christian preacher will tell you, to take that away from you. Being angry is absolutely not a sin. Your anger may not be warranted. Your anger may have no basis at all. But you still have space to feel how you feel about something until it comes to the point of justice where, well, this person really didn't do anything wrong, or this person did. But a preacher can't tell you that because there's no justice. It has to go to court. And then for it to be, well, you lied. He didn't rape you. He wasn't even in a state. No, you can't be angry no more. That Amber Heard was mad with Johnny Depp. Mad as shit. Doing all kind of videotapes, trembling. Her deposition. She's trembling. When they come and find out all the evidence, she shit on the bed and she was having sex with his Joker. James Franco. Good night. All that anger shit stopped. You understand? Because a judge was there to administer justice. You understand? You're going to have to be angry to get the justice. You have to be, and you have to be free for that. And that's one thing that could be damaging to somebody when something happens to them and their anger doesn't get, their frustration, the oppression doesn't get taken up. It could damage you. It could turn you into something that's, it's really horrible. Right. You know what I mean? So you have those. And then now you must be born again. You're going to have to be willing to become something totally new. Something totally new who none of this shit ever happened to. Right. Now that comes with the only place, this is the first and foremost thing with that, the only place that you can become someone totally new is in the Israelite school of UPK. Right. And I'm going to explain to you why. With that, I'm going to explain to you why. Everywhere else is going to be the old place, the old you, the old way of doing things, which doesn't let that old person die. In here, there's the whole format, the whole system in the spirit is totally different and new, so much so that you have to even behave differently, act differently, walk differently, talk differently. No one in here will call you by that old name. You get a chance to really be new in here. That's the final stage of that situation the sister talking about. And this is for both men and women. The final stage of it is you're going to have to come in here and become new. And it's a process. It's a process. Just think like a funeral. Now, if somebody die, they don't go in the ground right away. We ain't Muslims, right? There's a whole process about, embalming the body and then getting the family members and putting the body into the ground. And then once the body goes into the ground, everybody cry the last cry. And within a week, only maybe the closest family members are still destroyed. Give it some months. No, they're dead and gone. They're already dead and gone. They're gone. And you're good. It's the same thing in here. You're going to have to come in here and lay that nigga to rest. Lay that person to rest. Lay that old person to rest. And become brand new. And when you become brand new, you run with the wind with this brand new person. You run like the wind. You fully be new. And never, ever turn back. Now, if you turn back, you really enjoy that pain. You really enjoy that trauma that was done. You love it. And I'm saying it might sound offensive, but it's something called trauma bonds that people form, where they're comfortable in that situation. They're stuck in transition. And when they should be going for the justice, they're just stuck in this is what happened to me. And it comes from really not being able to be angry at the right time when that shit happened. Let people be angry at injustice, man. Let people be angry at things that was done to them. Shit wasn't done to you. Who the hell is you to tell somebody, no, well, don't be angry for that. And Lord say you had to forgive them. Forgive them? What does that mean? Go, run, yell, tell. Come in here. I'll make the 911 call for you. I'll turn to Charles. Who is this, Charleston White? Yeah. I put molesters in jail. I put the rapists in jail. Yeah, he had to go. He got to go. That shit can't happen in here. You had your hand up, Barack?
Yeah.
Hold on, so I think Barack had his hand up earlier. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like what you said earlier about this Israelite school UPK being that you know that what's the word I'm looking for, that place of refuge type of thing. Like, outside of the school, like everywhere else is really just like an AA meeting. It's like you don't really get a chance to actually become new, like at all. You don't get a chance to become new, not in the church, not in the prison system. Nowhere you go, not in your little, your clique, not in your organization. Nowhere that you go, none of these clubs after school, like none of them actually give you a chance to become new. When you go in these meetings, they'll sit there and introduce themselves, whatever the case may be. But the burden or the answer, they're not giving an answer. Everyone's just patting each other on the back, but you never give an answer to become somebody.
How could you become new when you go into the family reunion and the nigga or the auntie who did it is right there, and your mother and father hugging them and kissing them, and then they come to hug you and they're looking at you. Why are you so standoffish? And this is your hug. Their hands are on you, but this is you. How could you become new? You could become new when you come in here and learn the Jews is black, learn Christ is black, learn we the real Israelites, and then one class somebody tells you a rapist got to die. He's vile and disgusting, and he's a faggot, and he need to die. And you be like, I ain't never heard no shit like that before. I thought I had to have mercy on everybody. No. I ain't telling you go put a knife in nobody now. So lucky. Let me stop right there. Let me disclaimer. I ain't telling you go put a knife in nobody, but somebody should have did it when it happened. Right? Now this is what you do. You call and get counsel and see what your camp leader tells you, or the general who you report to tells you. In some cases, that call gets made tonight. In some cases, some little child saying this is what's going on, we ought to make that call tonight. We ought to get him to hell out of there, or her. Get them out of there, let them go. You get the point? Go ahead.
Sir, two things real quick. Just like you were saying, this is the only place that you can come to be brand new. Mark Zuckerberg does, the school tells you once you come into the truth, make a new profile on Facebook, right? For some reason, I couldn't make a new profile. I had to stay with my with my old profile. And Mark Zuckerberg just professional good for the soul. Had a memory, an old memory, and I looked at that memory, and it was just like, what the hell was I thinking?
Listen, I'm brother. I see some. I tell brothers all the time and sisters, you come into school, make a UPK email. Y'all think this shit is just extra meticulous and Cap just being anal and all that bullshit. You want a report, email coming through with, DC something send something to John Smith every day. You want to see your name? Get rid of that shit, man. Get rid of it. Get around people who would call you the new person. Make a new Facebook profile. You got 2,000 friends on the other one. You don't know them niggas. What the fuck you losing? Just start fresh. But when you come to find out, most people don't want to leave that shit. And somebody like that you can't pull along. You got to leave them until they're fed up of playing and piss and filth. When they're fed up of it, then they're going really, man, I had everybody, they make the post. All y'all who hate the UPK, F y'all, unfriend me. They make the post. Then now they want to do it, but you can't pull somebody out of that. But somebody who goes cold turkey, who disappears, they don't have nothing with slave name and they're just, a new person. That person now is on that road to burying that old person and the trauma goes away. You know what I mean? Because like you had something else, or that was it?
You touched on it, sir. Like you said,
go ahead.
It's so wicked that these holidays are really like a stretch point. Like it exasperates the issue where it's like now you're not only are you violated and you're not allowed to be angry because of the Christian church, but then now these holidays come around and you got to front, and like you said, a family reunion, you got to put on the front and you got to look at the person who violated you right in the face the entire time as if nothing happened. And people expect you to, get along and go along.
Right.
And so it's like, even in that, you're teaching the evil lesson to our kids and to the people who've been violated. And that's like now that they have to, you know, you look at the person, it's like being robbed. And I remember this happened a while back, some years ago. I remember I was with a brother in the world, and he ran into the cat that he seen had robbed him before.
Right.
And it was, you know, he understood that it was go time. Like he understood that I'm getting my justice in his mind, like for what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and for some reason, it always stuck out to me because it's like somebody who's been molested, they'll see their molester and fight that thing of I've been violated. Like that brother, he knew I was violated. This cat robbed me, and I remember he ran up on him, and it was just go time. And he didn't say nothing about it. I had to ask him after the fact, like, why you just run up on me and do him like that? He's like, yeah, he robbed me 3 years ago.
Okay, and he didn't rob him of some valuable. Nah. He robbed him of his manhood.
Right.
That's why he carried it for so long, because the violation was just, I don't care about the shoes. Okay, it would have been different. Whatever it has happened, right. This dude felt emasculated, and that was him taking back the masculinity. Right. You get the point? It's almost the same thing. You had to do something, but you first had to be allowed to feel angry for this shit. Right. You got to be allowed that space. And if you're not allowed that space, there's no way you could really move forward from it. Right? Which is, again, the evils of the church. I hope that answered the good question.
Okay, so she said the water.
Okay, no sweat.
And
what's the other one?
Another question. Mark says, Shalom, Lord Christ, Allah got one. Can you confirm if we are or aren't unclean after visiting a graveyard or gravesite?
You're unclean for 7 days if you go into the cemetery, or if you if you're in the house of the dead. If you're in the house of the dead, you go to the cemetery, you're unclean for 7 days. Or if you touch the dead body, any dead body, don't matter. When I say dead body, I mean a human, of course. It don't matter, you're unclean for 7 days in the case of a funeral with a dead person, right? You're unclean for 7 days. If you touch somebody who went to the gravesite, or touched the dead body, or was in the house of the dead, you're only unclean for 1 day. If you need the precept, just let me know. All right, but you're unclean for 7 days if you go into the graveyard. All right, where there's dead people around. All right, that's it.
Last, sir, one more, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So when John D says, can you explain a black man's descendants becoming completely white after a few generations of that seed with a white woman?
Okay, hold on, Kazak, you probably know this video I'm talking about. There's a video I've been looking for the start of the class, because that's what I really wanted to show. It's a brother talking about how exotic this strange woman is. He's in a like a little podcast. He's sitting on a couch. He have on it's like a fancy suit. He have on shades, a ton of chains on and rings, and he's like, these women so exotic. I've been to Cyprus, Greece, this, that, the other. He's on the podcast with the brother who he had the dreads with the shaved front. And he's talking, he said it's so exotic. He said you had to pay these women to leave. You don't have to pay them to come to you. You got to pay them to leave, and they're so exotic. And then he said you can't find these women nowhere around America. These women is exotic, and he real going into it. He real thirsty about it. Let's see if you find it. If you can't find it, ain't no sweat. Read the question again, huh?
Okay. Question from Joe D says, can you explain the black man's descendants becoming completely white after a few generations of that seed with a white woman? Isn't that white man still in the bloodline?
How would he still be in the bloodline, young brother? How would he still be in the bloodline? Go ahead, huh? I got it. Go ahead. Let me finish with this. All right. Right. How would he still be in the bloodline? If it is that, okay, he's saying if a brother marries a white woman, and okay, after that, then what happens?
After a few generations with that white woman. So it says, can you explain the black man's descent becoming completely white after a few generations of that seed being with the white woman? Isn't that bloodline though?
Okay, I'm assuming once again, because the question is it's vague. It's not vague. It's leaving out certain things. He's saying that if a brother marries a white woman, an Edomite, if a few generations of that marriage, how does it become white? Is that what he's asking? Because it doesn't. It doesn't if it is that the generations from that keep going with white women. The women don't carry seed, only the men carry seed. You get the point? Only the men carry the seed. So if a brother marries a white woman and he has a son, that child is an Israelite. If that child has a son, that child is an Israelite. If that child has a son, that child is an Israelite, and so on and so on. Pull up a picture of Patrick Mahomes. That's his name?
Patrick Mahomes.
Fuck it. So it don't have an ES at the end of Mahomes?
Nah, it's just Mahomes. Oh yeah, no, I knew. But
So Mahomes.
Mahomes.
ES. So Gomez, is it Gomes?
Gomez.
It's Gomez. Mahomes.
It is, sir. It is.
Fuck is y'all telling me? So what's his name?
Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes? Like Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, right? I want you to go with Patrick Mahomes, right? Pull up Patrick Mahomes and Blake Griffin. Who is that? Okay, I ain't sure that's that nigga's son. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right.
I got a picture of his father and his mother holding him.
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes. That I ain't like how that sound now. That's Mahomes. No, nigga, Mahomes. Yeah, go ahead. No, it's not my homeboy. I ain't got homeboys. I ain't got homeboys. Okay, so you put up a picture of him, you put up a picture of Blake Griffin. All right, and you'll see that no matter what the child looks like, they're still an Israelite. Now, if you're asking me how does that seed become white, if that brother has a daughter and that daughter goes marries a white man, then their children is Esau, because that white man's seed is what matters. But as long as this brother's seed is a male child, whatever child comes from that son is an Israelite. Every male child, every child from that male Israelite would be an Israelite. Right? You showing it? Which one you have up? Which one you have up, Bakwash?
His father,
Patrick Mahomes. I'll say Mahomes for y'all.
It's Patrick Mahomes' father, mother, and they're holding.
Right, and there ain't no doubt his father is a nigga. There ain't no doubt about that. That father is nigga as nigga could be. If it wasn't for him, there would be no word nigga. I think he's about as nigga as they come. Right. He in the back of the damn press conference, he blew up the smoke like, yeah. He is as nigga as they come. And yeah, Patrick, he does not look exactly like the father, and that Patrick's son doesn't look nothing like the father. Same thing with Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin's son looks nothing like Blake Griffin's father. You would think his son is Edomite, but he's not. You get the point? What are we dealing with now?
I don't think he's understanding your question or your answer, sir. He's saying you said you are your father. If that's the case, then all mixed. If that's the case, then all mixed men keep getting lighter and lighter. You keep running around the question. I specifically said,
okay, what's going on with him? His mother is a devil. This guy here, his mother is a devil, and he's caught up on the complexion shit. That's why he's bringing it up. That's why he can't understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is very simple. If a black man has sex with any woman, that child is an Israelite. If a white man has sex with any woman, that child from that white man's intercourse is an Edomite. It matters the seed of the father. It does not matter what you look like. If what you look like mattered, Bob Marley would be a black man, and Bob Marley is white because his father is a white man. Right? You just not understanding because you love some devil, either your mother or some girl you're having sex with. I don't know. But you really just love some devil. That's it. Ain't nobody running from your question. What it is you running from reality. You're running from the reality of your life. Your mother's more than likely a devil, and your father is a black man, and you rather be the white side than the black side. That's why you ask how could a black man become white, because you really want to live on the white side. And that's it. Now, if I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong. I know he gonna answer soon. Anything else, sir?
You want his response, sir?
If he's there, go ahead.
He says, you won't even let your own man finish his sentence. Why you keep saying the white man? I said black man. I finally exposed you. Nobody said a white man but you.
It wasn't his question, how does a black man generation become white? Oh, is the white he talking about like light skin?
God, sir. Okay, I think it was what you said, and he sounded like one of the fake Israelites. I wouldn't be surprised he tried to pull that scripture in Ezra and how the mothers. He believes that the seed comes from the mom.
Well, okay, that's what it sounded like. But he's saying he never mentioned white, but his question had white. So does the white mean light skin? Like, how does a Israelite generation become light skin? Okay, well then, brother, your problem is not, scriptural. Your problem is you English. That's this you in the wrong class. You need to go to school. You need to go and get a GED so you can learn to formulate proper sentences that communicate something correct. You ask a question that ain't got really nothing to do with the thoughts in your head, right? If you're asking about light, how does it get light skin? I already explained it. Blake Griffin's son looks like a white man, very, very light skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, but it comes from Blake Griffin, who came from a black man. If you're talking about how does it get white, meaning light, that's how it gets like that. Now, if you're asking me how does it get white like a white man, it cannot get like a white man, because that child, no matter what he looks like, is an Israelite. Your mother going into slavery. What you want? What you want for me, man? You over there again, bent out of shape. Go kiss the broad, and help her out, man. Go rub her feet, man. She gonna have to pick cotton. You know what I mean? She gonna have to go pick this cotton. Any more?
So there's another question
Mm-hmm.
From Brett McDonald says, can you show the precept of going to the graveyard will make you defiled?
Yeah, we can get that. Also, too, somebody pulled for me with Phineas with the javelin. Because I see if you could find that one, the video I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm still looking right now, sir.
I see this thing all the time, and it's really bothering me. I can't see it today. Right? Get that one for me. Also, somebody look up the price they just paid Beyonce to perform in Saudi Arabia. Right? Go ahead.
This was the video right there.
No. It's like
he got it cut in the front with his dreads.
Nah, this one, this nigga, he closet. You see what I'm talking about. Okay, what's he say the question again, huh?
Sir. He says, can you show the precept of going to the graveyard will make you defiled?
Okay, no sweat. Let me House of the Dead. Hold on. House of Dead Body. Let me hear it, bro.
No, I was saying this cat right here.
That's him. He's not the one saying it. He's like a host on the show. Yeah, he's like a host on the show, and the guy is on his show. Go ahead.
It's like I got the precept one from the javelin.
No, I want the house of the. Somebody look up the dead precept for me. Hold on, let me have it in my precept book here. With funerals or dead.
Yeah, this a video, so
Put guy boy, you have it?
So it's not the house, but a dead body.
Go ahead and give me that one.
Come. Numbers chapter 19, verse 13. Whosoever toucheth the dead body of any man that is dead, and purifieth not himself, defileth the tabernacle of the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from Israel, because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him. He shall be unclean. His uncleanliness is yet upon him.
Okay, hold on. Let me get Leviticus 21. All right, let me get the other precepts in the meantime. I'll come back to this one. Give me the one with Phineas. Barack, you found that video I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, you show it. Let me see. Play. Let me see and show it to me. Show me the screen at least. Okay, who's the dude he talking to?
It looked like he put. I don't know who this is. I guess it's
no, that's not the dude. That's not it. But okay, that guy is the guy who does the interviews. What's the name of that channel?
The Real MTR.
No, I don't
the
think
guy
that's
that, the guy in the video, he was saying, I ain't never been treated like a king. It was something about what you.
Okay, that might be a clip from the interview, but he's not the brother who I'm talking about. The one who I'm talking about, he's wearing shades. He's wearing shades and he's operating real thirsty. Go ahead, Shapat.
I got Phineas.
Okay, let me get on.
Come. So the book of Numbers, chapter 25, verse 6. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 7. And when Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand.
Right. So now this is Phineas, not Phineas. Who's the one who went in with the Midianitish woman? Does it say his name? Okay. This brother went and got a heathen woman from Midian, right? This Midian woman. And he brought her into the congregation. He was not supposed to do that according to our law, right? And he thought he had something better. I believe this is just when the Lord was plaguing. Skip up and see if this is when the Lord was plaguing Israel. I believe we were suffering some death or there was a plague in the camp. And Joshua is checking everybody. And this fool decides he's going to be proud. And he was walking in normal daylight through the congregation with this heathen woman. Because he felt that he was so much better and he didn't give a damn about what was going on. Go ahead. What's up, Bakwash? Hey, Bakwash ready to fall on you, Watch yourself. Watch yourself. There's the half of the ghosts and the darkness. You don't want to deal with this nigga here. Go ahead,
Book of Numbers, chapter 25, verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. Verse 2. And they called the people onto the sacrifices of their gods. And the people did eat and bow down to their gods. Verse 3. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. Verse 4.
Right. So now here you have a problem already in Israel with whoring with the other nations, right? They say they committed whoredom with the daughters of Moab, right? So there was already taken women who the only reason they're taking them is not for beauty. It can't be for beauty because there's no more by today that nobody gawks over. There ain't nobody making nobody trying to be like them. Moab trying to be like our women. So it can't be for beauty you're taking that. You're taking that because really you despise the daughters of your brothers. That's really what it is. So this is what's going on at that time. And is we about to get checked here? I believe it's Joshua going to do the checking. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. Verse 5. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men. Slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal-Peor. Verse 6.
So now he giving the order. Anybody who ain't want to follow the Lord, put them to death. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman.
So as he's checking Israel and chastising Israel and giving the order, the punishment was supposed to happen, this brother walks through the camp with a Midianitish woman, feeling proud and without fear, he ain't trying to hide. This is not a sneaky link. He walking bold as can be, because in his mind, this is a better woman than what y'all dealing with here. Go ahead.
In the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 7. And when Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation.
No, why was the congregation weeping?
Because they just killed all the dudes of Israel who were worshiping Baal-Peor.
Think more repenting. Think more you're sorry because it's hell coming down. Think more like that. Just think, you're in a house with your father and you have all brothers and sisters or your mother, and somebody about to get torn out the frame. You ever see that happen where this child not in trouble? They ain't getting the belt. But the nigga who getting to walk in the room with the belt, the other child outside starts crying because they know what about to happen. Think just like that. Israel is, they don't get checked. They're weeping. Read where they're weeping at. They're weeping at the tabernacle. Right? They come into the priest. They come into the Lord now for, to ease us up. Because, of course, Israel done sin. The Lord about to drop the hammer. And while we in this whole mode of repenting, this fool walks through with Kim Kardashian. He just walks through and he thinks he's, what y'all on? I'm going to get me some of this good meat here. Keep going.
Rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand.
And give me from Phineas again.
Verse 7. And when Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. Verse 8. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague.
Right. So go ahead.
So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel.
Right. This plague that was coming was stayed. Does it say why it was stayed? Keep reading.
Verse 9. And those that died in the plague were 24,000. Verse 10. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying.
So now Phineas, he saw this happen. He took a javelin. You know what javelin is, right? That is shown in the Olympics. That was a weapon of war, right? He went in there and he plowed that javelin through the brother's back, through his stomach, through the girl's stomach, which means what? He killed them in the act, right? While they're out there praying to the Lord to stop the plague, which killed how much people?
24,000.
24,000 people died in the plague. Y'all think COVID, the Lord ain't playing. And the children of Israel was crying to the Lord for mercy. This fool is like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm going to go get some of this tail. Phineas went in there and put them out. Keep going. Go ahead.
And my man, every time I think of this part right here, the Israelite he was lawful, she wasn't. I was thinking it was like a beef and pork shish kebab. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I wouldn't. I hear you, brother. You have a real, you have a way you describe things. I just look at it like a weak ass nigga and a filthy dog. He's just a weak bastard and a filthy dog. You know what I mean? But if you could put it like that, you know what I mean? Listen, you could put it like that if I could say Mahomes. If you're not allowing me to say Mahomes, then you can't put it like that. Right? His name is, I think Mahomes sounds better. Mahomes? Mahomes. I was like, you have a little Hispanic Jake or something like that.
That's what I was feeling when you said it's like you was embracing our Latino brothers, Mahomes.
But he Judah.
I know, but you was embracing.
I was saying, I thought it was Mahomes. I thought it was,
I'm okay.
Man, listen, let's keep going now. Salaki. They're gonna have me talking about this goddamn NFL.
Okay.
Right? And keep going with the Lord. The Lord killed so the Lord's plague killed 24,000 people. Read on what the Lord said.
Verse 10. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 11, Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, have turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume them not, the children of Israel, in my jealousy.
The Lord, boy, that's cold. Like the Lord said, in my jealousy, meaning what? How was the Lord jealous?
And worshiping Baal.
Okay, yeah, that's true, but break it down so everybody get it. Come on, you get a shot.
I give it a shot. Right, this is a like.
No, that's it.
Nah,
I'm fucking with you.
I could be wrong. Okay. Could the Lord's jealousy have been like because we wanted their daughters instead of his daughters? Like in that essence, like a jealous father, like you want that instead of my daughter.
So me rejecting your daughter is really what?
Say that again.
Me rejecting your daughter is really what?
It's humiliating. I mean,
why is it humiliating?
Because what's wrong with my daughter? Why, like,
that's true, but what is it really doing? Because
somebody help me out there.
It's rejecting him.
Yeah. Yep. You have a child that playing some sport, right? That child can't make the team. Why are you offended? Why are you on the sideline talking shit to the coach from the stands? Coach, you don't know what you're doing. Send in 15. Go warm up, boy. Send in 15. You need 15. Why are you so mad? You going off on the court so much. The boy, by that time he done embarrassed now. He taking off his helmet. He's like, fuck this shit. Why are you so mad? Because you taking shit personal. It's us choosing the other nations, choosing their ways, their customs, their styles, brother. It makes the Lord jealous. It makes the Lord jealous like something, you can't imagine. And he just killed 24,000 people in a day or in a short period of time. Come on.
It's like you breaking that down like that. It's real heavy, sir. It's like, especially as a father, it's like because my daughter was trying to play with some little kid, and the girl was trying to act real stank like she want to play with it, and I got to finish like she didn't want to play with me. I was like, Mama, come over here.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's exactly how it is, brother. And the Lord was angry, and he said his anger would have made him consume Israel. But what Phineas did, he was like, you're lucky y'all had this nigga here, because I was going to throw away everybody in this room. You get the point? Like, that's the Lord. He's like, what Phineas did, he was like, okay, well, there's still hope. You know what I mean? For the idiot, the faggot online, from Phineas, no matter how light-skinned they might be, from him, there's a line of strong Israelites. Yeah, so strong that the brother in the Maccabees said, after Mattathiah slayed the king's man on the altar, he said, I hadn't seen zeal like this since Phineas. You get the point? Since that story was so famous, he said, the last time we seen zeal like this, it reminded him of the story with Phineas and the javelin. But of course, that faggot wouldn't get it. You get the point? Go ahead.
It's like, just like you were saying, he wants to say something, but you answer this question.
Okay, I just need him to tell me if his mother is a devil, if she's a dog, if she gonna kiss my boots on Saturday. Just tell me that part so I'll know if, I need to fast some more for prophecy in my brain, or if what I'm saying proves that I'm a prophet of the Lord under command and journey, Yahanna, who learned from Head Priest Aria. That's what I need to know, because I think your mother is a dog. With that, you all go plug into I.S.U.P.K. Austin and big up Yatazak and Dawood down there. They had to check some dog on the street. She called the cops. Brother, she on the tape calling the cops. Oh, yeah, and they're calling me a dog. Then the cops show up, and she telling the cops over there, they called me a dog. So she runs to the camp. Yatazak speaking. She said, what did you call me? What did you call me? A dog. See? Brother, I lost to that. I didn't see that tape, bro. That tape should be out by tomorrow. But okay, any more on it? With Phineas?
That was pretty much it.
Right. So once again, now that type of person who would walk in there with that woman being so proud and feeling like they, have something, is the spirit of the passport brothers. Right. You understand? Is that spirit? The woman they get in our sisters, the Israel. I know the Israel. Do they know the Israel? Do they look at them like they look at a sister? No, they don't. You understand? And to desire a strange woman is really harder. And to them, these women are exotic. That's why I need that video, man. Yeah, I hear the brother talk. He's like, they're so exotic. They're so like, oh, brother, they're so... And he having a connection on there. And he started to whisper. He's like, their soul and their skin. And then the same brother with the dreads had to say, hey, yo, nobody could hear you whispering. I mean, they're so exotic, man. He was lost in translation with these women out. Lost so bad. And he talked about how he would pay, and he had to pay them to leave, and he had to get them some money, and that's where he spends all his money. And when you look at him, he just looks like a John. He looked like a trick. He just looks like that. He doesn't look like a normal human being. He looks like, he probably was molested when he was young and over sexualized. That's what I was looking for. Sexualized. He get turned on to a certain type of situation, and he can't help himself just yet. All right. You didn't find the video I'm talking about yet.
Nah, sir.
I'm gonna be mad as soon as the class go off. I'm gonna find it. It's gonna come up on my reels. I guarantee you. Who found how much they paid Beyonce in Saudi Arabia? Ask somebody to look it up. Right? Beyonce just recently had a concert in Saudi Arabia or United Arab Emirates, where everybody does go. Dubai. And I believe she just had a concert out there. Come on.
24 million, sir.
She didn't go on tour, It was one concert. A 1 hour concert. 24 million. You're reconsidering your career. She's shaking her head like it ain't too late to be the B. $24 million. These Arabs paid a black woman. They ain't pay a Filipino. They ain't pay somebody from Thailand. They ain't pay some old Asian, and she's so humble and she don't know speaking no English. They ain't pay 24 million to her. They pay 24 million to the hardest head on earth. The black woman. Give her a hand. But you getting a passport thinking you getting something better. Of course, these are our sisters as well. Right. But of course, there's other brothers who go to the Philippines and they stay in Thailand. But the push is the DR. You really have something weak in you. Yeah. If the heathen can see value in your woman, why can't you? They pay her 24 million to come and just do what? She can't sing her whole catalog. And they put her in the middle on some old pedestal, brother, that came out the floor. Up, and she on a pedestal up in the middle of the thing, like she's the queen of the earth. That's the value. But they ain't paying the Filipinos like that. They ain't doing the Thailand women like that. They ain't doing the Chinese, the goops in them like that. They ain't doing the East Indians like that. You get the point? But you in your mind, that's where you need to go. You need to a disenfranchised person to have value. You're just weak, Negro. You're just absolutely weak. You don't know what strength is. You don't understand it, and you refuse to be strong. The fact that she giving you a little problems is for you to be strong. You're gonna have to be strong to conquer this problem. You know, I mean, what are you gonna do when the Brazilian woman she get over here and she learn the system? What are you gonna do when the Dominican learn the system? You know, they can't talk no English until it's time to buy a house. Yeah, no English, no English. And then she talk just like she from Maryland. She said, I'm from Maryland. You be like, what, bitch? What are you gonna do then? Are you gonna go back to another country and get a woman? No, you're simple. You're absolutely simple. We give 5 more minutes with that video, because if you could find it. Okay, so the brother who asked the question with the grave, give me numbers 19. Give me numbers 19 and 11 quickly.
Come. Numbers chapter 19, verse 11. He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days.
Right. That's it for you're touching the dead body. Hold on. Skip up and see if you find where the dead body is in the house. Might not be in this chapter. Let me look for it in the meantime. The other one is Numbers 19 and hold on. Start at 14. You're going all the way down to 16.
Come. Numbers chapter 19, verse 14. This is the law.
Say it again. I like that. Say that again.
This is the law.
Say it one more time.
This is the law.
I like that shit. This is law. Right. Go ahead.
Come. When a man dieth in a tent.
Right. A tent meaning, of course, where he lives, where he dwells. Right. Your tent today would be your house. Right. Go ahead.
Come. All that come into the tent and all that is in the tent shall be unclean 7 days.
So that's where if he die, you go into the house of the dead. And don't think tent like, the triangle, like you're a Boy Scout. Don't think that. A tent could be a big structure, like when you go to them car expos and they have the what's called them big old with the triangle top.
Big tops.
There's big tops, so they call them. It's like top, like a big old top thing that extending long. It could be that with sheets on the side. That's also a tent, So don't think, Boy Scouts tent. Don't think that little thing. Think your dwelling place, right? Somebody die in a house or a dwelling place. Anybody goes into that house, you unclean 7 days, right? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 15. And every open vessel which hath no covering bound upon it is unclean.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 16. And whosoever toucheth one that is slain with a sword in the open fields, or a dead body, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days.
So that's the precept for the grave, all right? So like it take a little while to find it, but that's it. You go into, you touch a grave. So if you go into a cemetery to get to the grave of the person who funeral you're there for, you're walking on air, you're walking over a grave. You walk into the cemetery, Negro, you're unclean. Just stay on the outside. All right, that's it. For the person who asked the question for those 2 precepts, right? He good on it, Bukwash? Okay, anything else?
So that's it.
Man, I'm out. I can't find the goddamn video out.
So I'm trying to see. Rock said it was NTR. It was a podcast. You said it was the right podcast.
I don't. Okay, it's the video is the right one.
Right.
It's not the It's definitely not the. I don't think that's the name of it. It's something with an 8 in it. Good.
If I could, sir, the video that I did send across, you said that's the right clip. You was looking for that specific one, but if you still wanted something, because he was still going crazy over these.
Okay, we'll play that in the meantime. Play that in the meantime.
but I never felt like a king or got true king treatment until I went out of this country.
Facts.
Where you're praised, especially as a black man, and one, I'm from America, and two, I'm black.
For being you.
Right. It's like the world is yours whenever you leave this country.
Listen, I've traveled over 12 countries. He's absolutely correct. Case in point, he's in Thailand.
I'm okay, thank you.
And they're showing him in Thailand.
And one of the 12 countries that I've been to is Thailand. And what you just saw is absolutely facts. Passport boys, we up. What up?
And I've had good relationships in my
We
life.
say passport boys, we up.
Like a king or got
Nigga,
true
Thailand
king treatment.
is the home of all the transsexuals in the world, brother. We up. Something else up, nigga. And you gonna find out. Is it any more? Okay, is that same interview? Because the other dude I'm talking about, I think he's sitting on the other chair. And brother, he is going off about these women.
Anytime a woman
Greece and Spain,
good relationships
and Turkey and Istanbul, even though Istanbul is in Turkey, he had to break it down. He been to Turkey and Istanbul. He talking about all, and he started talking about how they're so exotic and they're so rare. And I'm like, brother, you fooling yourself. You're really hyping yourself. You're lying to yourself because you're just too weak to go get abroad. That's all. You ain't got it. If you ain't got it, say you ain't got it, man. We have it in here though. We got it. We got it. We got it. We ain't gotta go nowhere. They come to us. Yeah, you get the point. They come to us. You gotta check. Hey, pick me up at this airport.
Right.
So like,
it's funny because the TikTok space is full of these niggas, and for a long time I held my peace on it because one of the main cats.
Man, we ain't got TikTok tonight. I should have saved this topic for next week, guys. It should have been jumping.
So he put me onto all different live streamers, so I'm like in the platforms and stuff. So I was on this one TikTok panel, and I was like, these brothers was just going in. Shalom. These brothers
Shalom,
was just
mama.
like they
Good
kept
night.
going
Bye.
in more and more about how these women is like, brothers, it's the way to go. This is that, and I was like, let me just be straight frank with y'all. I was like, the passport brothers is for cowards and sexual deviants. I was like, most of these brothers is weak. I went off when the panel was over. I lost about 45 followers.
That's really what it is.
It's them cats, they don't want to hear the truth of what it is. Like there's so many brothers that's in that trash. It's ridiculous.
It's the alternative to going to the strip club.
Right.
And you know what? We live in the age now where traveling to a foreign country is normalized.
Right.
When there was a time, the average American would leave the shores because you had everything here. You had the Grand Canyon, you have waterfalls. You don't have to go nowhere for nothing. Right. But with the advent of the internet and you see in places, you see in possibilities that you could really reach out and touch. Right. Travel is a lot easier and cheaper now. It's not like before. So brothers is getting more adventurous, and as they go out, they're getting to realize that, hey, I'm Clark Kent back on Krypton, but on this planet, I'm Superman. Sure. So they develop the culture of it, but it's really all for the wrong reasons. It's not, none of them will say the white man is the devil. None of them would, our people are under pressure and oppressed. They just go in there for the, nasty lust and really just to prey on somebody who is destroyed. You know what I mean? And it's absolutely horrible. I'm gonna find the video. I'm gonna post it or something. I can't believe no, I really can't get it. I'm disappointed. I'm heartbroken. I couldn't find the thing all day. I know I'm gonna find it as soon as the class is over. Any more from Mr. White Man, mother? Because I'm ready to be done with this shit.
He did say something in closing. He says,
Tell me Ezra now, because I probably called the show.
He says, we love black people. They're a hate group, period. And then he closed it out with saying, Salakia, enjoy it while it lasts. Make as much money off these people while you can, because America is shutting down hate groups, and that's what you are.
Your mother is a... Your mommy. Your mama.
Right.
In the words of Commander John Yahanna, you were born from the womb of Satan. You came from Satan herself. You mad at me because your mother is Satan? Go be mad at your mother. Go be mad at your dad. Ask him why he put you in that womb. He didn't have to put you in that womb. You over here mad at me. America is shutting down hate group. They need to shut down your mama. That's who needs to be shut down. And with that, we pass the class over. The priest and officer, Pagai boy. So like, I need to find that video, boy. I'm done with that shit now. I'm fully spent with this.
ISUPK security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming holy convocation. It's Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. That's Sunday, the 5th of March, and Monday, the 6th of March, 2023. You can find this in the book of Esther.
Get the fuck out of here.
Chapter 9, verses.
Also, his wife is a dog. The Bakwash just found what's his name? Jody? Jody. I know somebody was a dog. Smelled like dog. Go ahead.
And then we're having the Lord's annual Passover, April 1st. But we're starting on Wednesday, March 29th with the lamb slaughter. Thursday, March the 30th, we have the Black Wall Street Tour and the Stagville Plantation Tour and the All Black Party with the live concert. Friday, March the 31st, we have the Kids Party at Adventure Landing. And we have a scripture breakdown with General Muhammad. And Saturday, April 1st, is the Lord's 54th Passover at Raleigh Convention Center. And Sunday, April 2nd, we have the Feast of Unleavened Bread at the Sheraton Hotel.
Right. This Sunday is on Feast of Purim. DC, we're going to be going up to Baltimore Sunday, those who could make it. For the opening, the closing will be done here Monday in DC school. But Sunday, we're going to do it in Baltimore for those who could make it. Sunday, 7 p.m., we got the Baltimore school for the Feast of Purim. If anything changes, I'll definitely let you all know. But for the Feast of Purim, we're going to do it everybody in Baltimore Sunday. For the closing, which is Monday the 5th, it would be here in the DC school as normal, 7 p.m. All right?
Remind Akian and Aquathian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, a scarf. And with that, I say Imadium, which means to stay. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadah, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Balak Taba'ah, Ratazak, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalak now, Kawawaf now, Kasalak now, Kawawafi now, Wala'ah, Tabi'ayin now, Banasaya 1, Abo, Hawashai now, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wahatapara, I will love you, the water Amah.
In the English,
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
We'll give one courtesy salute to the teacher. I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. Barak.
Yahweh
Yahanna. Saul, which means to turn. Sister, you may stand. We'll give one courtesy salute to the teacher, to the sister. I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. Barak.
Yahweh Shema Hashem Yahushua.
Yahanna. Class dismissed.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yahanna is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheridan in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, sending curses to them enemies.